South Carolina. Lord, we ask you to protect these drivers, staff, family members, and friends. Lord, we praise you. We remember the past drivers like Cale Yarborough and bless the drivers of today, the future of NASCAR. For God, the race is not given to the swift nor the strong, but the one that perseveres. Because God, you're too tough to tame. In Jesus' name, amen.
And here to perform our national anthem from the United States Air Force Heritage of America Band, please welcome Staff Sergeant Rachel Coleman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so hailed at the top's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we so gallantly streaming. Bursting and the flag was stars and star-spangled banner to wave o'er the land. The Queen Lady in Black. We'll find out shortly. Anna, Brad, and Joey on the other side of the break.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this afternoon's running of the NASCAR Xfinity Series of Ag Project 200. Here this afternoon, we have 200 miles, 147 laps of action around the track. Too tough to tame, as you just heard from Shannon Spake. And here, this is going to be a fun one. The NASCAR Xfinity Series races at Darlington, really since like 2019, 2020, have been absolute bangers. I think this is going to be another one here today. You're going to see a lot of slipping and sliding. It's a hot day at the racetrack, a warm day at least at the racetrack. Track temps are up, sun is out, and no rain in the forecast both this afternoon as well as tomorrow afternoon. No practice or qualifying for the NASCAR Xfinity Series as that was washed out yesterday afternoon, which was supposed to take place before the start of the truck race. That rain lingered into the start of the Truck Series race, which that race did not get underway until just after 10 p.m. Eastern Time late last night. So with that being said, not necessarily a green racetrack because the Cup Series did have practice of qualifying not that long ago, but it is going to be a racetrack in which these drivers are going to have a lot of unknown. Very few drivers in the field have actually ran this racetrack. Got several rookies making their first laps at Darlington Raceway, like a Carson Quaffle, who is in the 88 this weekend again for Junior Motorsports, coming off a near win at Dover 2 weeks ago in his last start in the last Xfinity race. He led in the last couple overtime restarts, but unfortunately was not able to get the win as he was passed by Ryan Truex on the second to last lap of the race, again 2 weeks ago. Had a fourth place finish in that one, and he had a fourth place finish in his first career start as well, so he's trying to go for 3 straight top 5 finishes. Shane Van Gisbergen, another driver who's never made a lap at this racetrack, and he is running full-time in the NASCAR Xfinity Series this season, so by way of trying to qualify his way into the playoffs, he comes into this race on the bubble on a track he has not raced at. It's probably going to be one of the toughest racetracks he's ever raced at. And no experience in a stock car here. He maybe has a huge uphill climb. I say well more so than what a Carson Quaffle would. Now, as far as Shane Van Gisbergen and the rest of the point standings, this is how it looks around that playoff cutoff line. The drivers who are first and foremost locked into the Xfinity Series playoffs with a win would be Chandler Smith, Austin Hill. They each have 2. Jesse Love has 1 win this season, and Sam Mayer has a win at Texas as well. On the cutoff line, Sammy Smith is the last driver above the cutoff line on points. He's 15 points to the good over his JRM teammate Brandon Jones. Ryan Sieg is 18 points below the cutoff line coming into the race today as well. Actually, make that 22 points below the cutoff line for Sieg. Shane Van Gisbergen, as I mentioned, on the bubble right now for the playoffs. He is currently sitting 36 points out of 12th for the playoff grid. Obviously, we've got some road courses coming up yet in the summer months. We've only had one road course race so far. That could be huge for SVG, but if he's going to want to make the playoffs in his full-time rookie Xfinity Series season, we'll have to wait and see how that's going to come to fruition for him. Anthony Alfredo's had a great season. He's above the cutoff line. He's actually got the same amount of points as Sammy Smith, so they're tied for 11th overall. And as mentioned, 15 points to the good over Brandon Jones. Parker Kligerman trying to make the playoffs for the second consecutive season in the 48 car. No wins last year, had to make his way on points so far this season. That has been the case as well. He is actually a lot more comfortably above the cutoff line. He's 29 points to the good, almost a half race worth of points. Sheldon Creed also doing pretty well for himself. He is 8th in the driver's standings, and he's another additional 16 points ahead of even where Parker Kligerman is at. AJ Allmendinger still without a win this season, as well as Riley Herbst comfortably in the top 10 in points. Justin Allgaier and Cole Custer both in the top 5 in the driver's standings, but no wins. The top 4 within one race worth of points of each other in the battle for the regular season championship to bring home those extra 15 playoff points. Now, the Xfinity Series has had a lot less races than some of the other series by way of how many races are in the regular season. We still, even after today's race, have 15 races left in the Xfinity Series regular season. And as of right now, Chandler Smith holds a 1-point lead over Cole Custer in the battle for that championship. Austin Hill is only 17 points out of first and third, and Jesse Love, as I mentioned, in fourth, is 57 points out of first. Some of the series leaders so far, Justin Allgaier, despite not having to win this season, is only 3 laps led behind the series leader, Chandler Smith, in that category. Both Chandler Smith and Cole Custer each have 8 top 10s, which is the most in the series, and Chandler Smith still has the most top 5s all by himself at 6. Tied for the most wins with Austin Hill, and he does have the most stage wins with 3. Second most stage wins with 3. The 2 that have the most stage wins are Jesse Love and Justin Allgaier, each with 4 apiece. All of Love's stage wins have come on super speedways and non-super speedways for Allgaier. So with that being said, got a stacked Xfinity Series lineup here today. We'll go through that starting lineup for the race. Obviously, we have our usual Xfinity Series regulars, but we have some one-off drivers going in this one, and they'll have to be starting deep in the field with practice and qualifying getting rained out yesterday. Those 3 drivers will be Eric Almirola, John Hunter Nemechek, and William Byron. Of course, Nemechek and Byron currently active in the NASCAR Cup Series full-time, so a couple Cup regulars, and Eric Almirola, who's won several Xfinity Series races for Joe Gibbs Racing already this season, looking for another. In fact, he already has a win this season in that 19 car, which came at the Martinsville Speedway last month. All 3 of those drivers will be starting to get deep in the field with practice and qualifying getting rained out. Now, Almirola, because he's ran several races this year, and the procedure of starting lineup, it goes by the metric of owners' points, drivers' points, and where you finish in the most recent race or last week's race for the Xfinity Series, which technically would have been 2 weeks ago at Dover, but the last race. Eric Almirola was not in that race, really. That's the only thing that kind of hurts him, but because he's actually pretty high in the driver's standings and that car, and the number 20 is doing pretty well in the owner's standings with a couple wins this season, that's why he is out where he's at. But in the 20 car, not in the 19 this weekend for Eric Almirola. William Byron will be starting dead last in the 38th place position, and then John Hunter Nemechek will be starting 34th. Rest of the starting grid as follows. Cole Custer will be starting out in front on the pole here today, still trying to get the first win for Ford in a top 3 NASCAR Series event. Chandler Smith will start outside the front row looking for his 3rd win of the season, as he is the highest starting Toyota. Sheldon Creed, his teammate on the inside of row 2 with AJ Allmendinger to the outside of that row. Austin Hill and Sam Mayer will line up in row number 3, each with wins already this season. Justin Allgaier and Anthony Alfredo in row 4. Great season for Alfredo as he's top 10 in points coming into this one today. Riley Herbst and Parker Retzlaff will round out the top 10 in row number 5. Parker Kligerman and Jesse Love will line up in row 6. Mentioned Carson Kvapil making his 3rd career start today on the inside of row 7 with his teammate Brandon Jones to the outside. Kyle Weatherman and Jeb Burton will line up in row 8. Shane Van Gisbergen and Eric Almirola in row 9. Interesting row there. Jeremy Clements and Ryan Ellis will be in row 10 with Brennan Poole and Leland Honeyman in row number 11. Row 12 is going to be Sammy Smith and Taylor Gray. Gray is in the 19 car today for Joe Gibbs Racing, making yet another start for that team this season. Full-time Truck Series regular is Gray. Josh Williams and Ryan Sieg will line up in row 13. David Starr, Patrick Emerly in row 14. Kyle Sieg and Josh Balicki in row 15. Row 16 will be made up of Matt DiBenedetto and Haley Deegan, a couple of Fords. Then Dawson Cram and John Hunter Nemechek in row 17. Row 18 for Garrett Smithley and Blaine Perkins. And rounding out the 38 car field today is Chad Fincham and William Byron in row 19. So again, that is the starting lineup for today's race at the Darlington Raceway, the Crown Royal Purple Bag Project 200. Stage splits today are going to be 45, 45, and 57. Just as we saw in the truck race last night, which had the very same race length of 200 miles, 147 laps. That one went 3 laps past the scheduled distance as it went to an overtime finish with a late caution in that one. It was off to a wild start as well, where Kyle Busch, who was running his 5th and final truck race of the season, was battling for the lead with Corey Heim. Side by side for most of the initial start of the race. Lap 2, turn 2, Busch goes for a spin, loses control out of the bump in that bottom groove. There was no contact made, but he lost control, slid into the inside wall head on, practically ending his day. He did continue on 5 laps down before bringing out another caution about a dozen laps later, as his right front tire had gone down as they had not gotten the damage fixed and the fenders pulled out enough. So that ultimately ended his day the second time, but obviously took him out of a good chance to win even after the first incident. Wade Zielinski, Candy Cox, Michael Turner, Dan Bowers, JoJo, and others, welcome into the stream. You can vote for who you think is going to win this Xfinity Series race today, per usual, in the chat. Poll is open. 19 votes have been casted so far in the early going of the stream. 42% of you say Cole Custer is going to win this race. 37% of you say somebody other than Custer, Chandler Smith, or AJ Allmendinger will win. 16% saying AJ Allmendinger and Chandler Smith with 5% of the votes. Got some throwback schemes in the field this weekend in all 3 series, mostly in the Cup Series, but there are some in the Xfinity and Truck Series races this weekend as well. So it'll be fun to see how that will go about here today under the Darlington, South Carolina sunshine.
Let's get in the booth here. Sheldon, you got a copy?
Talking with Sheldon Creed.
Forward to throwback scheme, super cool. But we just got done watching a graphic of they're really fast in Xfinity Series. Makes you sick here. Yeah.
In the Xfinity Series booth today on Fox Sports 1 is where you can watch the race. It is Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, alongside, of course, lead commentator Adam Alexander. Once again this season. Seen that trio in the booth at once several times this year. Logano's been a part of a lot more broadcasts than even Keselowski has been a part of for this season for the first half of the Xfinity Series schedule. 3 straight top 5 or top 10 finishes, excuse me, for Anthony Alfredo. Took home the Dash for Cash at Dover last week. And of course, that team in the top 10 of the point standings having a great season, and here he is.
Mr. Cash win. Still a couple weeks in front. Starting 8 today, obviously no practice. How do you prepare to get into the race car at Darlington, one of the toughest tracks we come to, pretty much blind? She got a root fear. Route 4 is Anthony Alfredo. Now we look at our starting grid in today's race. Mentioned the fact that qualifying was rained out yesterday. Cole Custer on the pole.
Well, we went through the starting lineup already, so I'll mute that for right now. Again, you have until the end of stage 2 to vote for who you think is going to win this race here today. My pick is going to be. I thought about going out on a limb and taking Carson Quaffle for the heck of it. I'm not going to do that. But I'm also not going to take William Byron, who might be the favorite for this race today because he is starting much deeper in the field. Today, without any practice or qualifying to really look off of, I'm going to take a veteran. Because in a circumstance like this, I feel like a veteran's going to win. Got to be able to take care of your equipment on the long run. The tires have to be there in the long run. With no practice, I think a lot of these younger drivers, whether they've been in the Xfinity Series for a season or not, they don't have the experience that some of these other drivers have. I think you lean to an AJ Allmendinger or Justin Allgaier winning today. And because of the bad luck that Allgaier has had for most of the races that he has ran well in this season, I'm going to go with the 16 car of AJ Allmendinger. I'm taking the Dinger to win today's race at Darlington. Predicted the race winner last night of Ross Chastain in the truck race, so we'll see if I can go 2 for 2 here this weekend. That was the main reason why I put Allmendinger in the poll options down there in the chat, was just because I was going to pick him. But William Byron would have been the guy I would have kind of flip-flopped in there for. Probably should have just because he's a bigger name, but puts more variation in the poll, I guess, because it's pretty tight right now between 3 voting options. 39% saying Cole Custer, 35% saying other, and 22% saying Allmendinger. Only 4% of the 23 votes so far have taken Chandler Smith to win the race today, and he is starting second, and of course has 2 wins already. Love that number 44 Hot Wheels throwback scheme for Brennan Poole here this weekend. Haley Deegan's number 15 car looks very good as well. A Ricky Rudd throwback scheme there in the 15. Oh, I'm a sucker for the Wrangler blue and yellow schemes. My diecast showing here today was almost the Dale Earnhardt scheme because it looks somewhat reminiscent of that, but I didn't take it because I have an actual Darlington throwback scheme that was ran a couple years ago of a diecast, so I was going to show that instead today. But yeah, it is a beaut. It's probably my favorite in the Xfinity Series field, to be completely honest. Even though we've seen it in years past, throwback schemes, I still love seeing that car. It's one of my favorite paint schemes of all time. Give me that blue and yellow Wrangler paint scheme. I don't care, who it is. Like I mentioned, this one was Ricky Rudd being the 15 car, but even if it was Dale Sr., whatever the case, I always love those Wrangler schemes. Pit road speed 45 mile per hour today. There is a competition caution scheduled for lap 20 with practice and qualifying getting rained out yesterday. Each team gets 6 sets of tires. It's one more than the Truck Series yesterday, so shouldn't be an issue there. Pace car's already in, and the green flag is waving. Cole Custer leads us, and we are racing on a Saturday afternoon, Mother's Day weekend at Darlington Raceway. Side by side into the first turn for the lead. Hadn't seen that much throughout the truck race yesterday. The inside line really struggled to get going on the restart when it wasn't the controlled lane. Really, any of the non-controlled lanes was struggling to get going in that one. AJ Allmendinger going to give a quick little push to the back of Cole Custer on the back straightaway, as AJ had a good run off turn 2 in the opening lap. And Custer's going to be able to pull clear with ease off turn 4. Allmendinger quickly to second place. And sliding in line in third is Chandler Smith, making sure he doesn't lose too many more positions. So opening lap of the race led by the pole sitter Cole Custer, as he's out in front in the early going, single file through most of the front portion of the field. Of course, drivers just trying to get situated with the race cars. No laps on this racetrack yet this weekend for any of these race teams. And the few drivers that do have track time in some of the other series, I think, can really benefit from this, like a Taylor Gray or a William Byron, John Hunter Nemechek, of course, some of the usual suspects. Now, Nemechek's in the 26 car for Sam Hunt Racing today, is not a Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota. So that'll also be interesting to see how he does there, because he has gotten a win already this Xfinity Series season in the 20 car with Joe Gibbs Racing. But again, that is not a JGR Toyota that Nemechek is driving here this afternoon. William Byron already picking up a few positions, getting by some of the back markers at the tail end of the field. Battle for 7th quickly in the early going between Anthony Alfredo and Justin Allgaier. Alfredo makes that pass. Good job for Anthony moving on up. And Allgaier looking to get back around him off turn 2. Very close to that inside lane. Alfredo gets a good run off the high side off turn 4, opens the gap up on Allgaier by a couple more car lengths into turn 1 on lap 5. Quick start to this one here today. Already went longer without a caution in this race than what we saw last night. A lot less aggressive start, I will say. Drivers taking care of each other early on. Major pass by Eric Almirola, drove it in deep, got it to stick, slides up easily clear in the center of 3 and 4 on the 27 car of Jeb Burton. And William Byron looking to make another pass on the back half of the field again as well. Byron up to 28th, and John Hunter Nemechek right behind him in 29th. Following each other by yet another car. Like that number 31 of Parker Retzlaff's throwback scheme. Throwback to Harry Gant. Lap 7. And Parker Kligerman busts his way into the top 10. He's right in front of Retzlaff. It seems like both the Parkers always run near each other in the early going of a race. They always qualify next to one another quite a bit. And the 8 car of Riley Herbst looking to make a pass on Retzlaff for 11th. And pretty much does complete that pass. Tough to tell lap time wise how quick the 26 and the 17 of Byron and Nemechek are, just because they are back in much heavier traffic than some of the leaders. Expect to see a lot of tire fall off today. In the truck race last night, over the course of a 30-lap run, we pretty much saw about 3 seconds of fall off, about a second of fall off every 10 to 15 laps. And even in the Cup Series practice session earlier, about a 30-lap run was about 3 second lap stint. That last lap, Cole Custer ran a 31.747. His fastest lap is a 29.933. And Custer's the only driver to run a sub 30-second lap time in the early going of the race. It was back on lap 2, where the vast majority of the top portion of the field ran their fastest laps on that lap in this race as well. Just over a 2-second lead for Cole Custer over AJ Allmendinger, 2.1 seconds to be exact. A 4.2-second lead already over Chandler Smith in third. Sam Mayer's in fourth, 4.4 seconds off the lead, and 5 seconds back is Justin Allgaier in fifth. So a very quick pace here out of the gate for Cole Custer, but we'll see if he can manage those tires well on this longer run. Maybe just trying to sprint it forward, knowing it's only a 20-lap stint before the first caution, with knowing a comp yellow will be coming at lap 20 anyway. So it could be all part of the strategy here for this 00. Taking advantage of the clean air and knowing you're going to get that caution very early. You don't have to worry about a long run in this first stage whatsoever. JRM cars battling for fourth between Sam Mayer and Justin Allgaier as well. As Fox Sports 1 will be heading to a commercial break. Side by side, though, in the early going. We'll go through the full top 10 running order here on lap 11. And Cole Custer's the race leader. AJ Allmendinger second, Chandler Smith third, Sam Mayer fourth, and Justin Allgaier fifth. That has not changed. In sixth, though, is Austin Hill. Sheldon Creed 7th. Anthony Alfredo slid back to 8th. Jesse Love in 9th. And Parker Kligerman still in 10th. Very early going of this race here today. 21 likes on the stream. The goal is to get to 100. So be sure to hit that like button. Subscribe for more NASCAR content if you are new. We'll stay right here with our live commentary coverage. Quick average race speed of over 150 miles per hour and caution free, as Custer has led the first 13 laps already. Speaking of caution-free, one car has gotten up against the wall pretty significantly. It's William Byron in the 17 with a mistake. Right front tire seems to be down after getting into the wall. Another Darlington stripe earned already this weekend, and William Byron. Again, up against the wall, one of the heavy favorites for the race today. Cuts a right front tire down. He'll make an unscheduled pit stop, and more than likely, this is going to take him out of a shot to win this race. Had to come from the back of the field, was trying to rush forward, and a costly mistake here for the 17. Byron ran another Xfinity race earlier this season. I think it was at Phoenix, if I remember correctly. He did not run well in that race. He was back half of the top 10, kind of borderline top 10 car. Not starting well in this one. It was tough to tell if he was ever going to have race winning speed. Just knowing that he is the most well-renowned, at least of the Cup drivers, or former Cup driver in the field today. And not going to be the day he would have hoped for.
Back at Darlington, Justin Alt continues to move to the field. He's at third, and you saw side by side, 17 of laps. He's out of contention already, guys. That just shows you why we call it a 10 in toughness. The lady in black. Oh,
it is tough, and we, like you said, we don't know when it happened, but I know one thing: he got flat tire here off of 4, and he had to go all the way around the whole racetrack, the right front, just like that. What you see, he had trapped all the way around, losing so much time. He's just now rolling off of pit road.
3 laps down by the time he gets back on the racetrack. How difficult is this place? I mean, you say it's a 10, but I just look at the big name drivers that it's claimed already this weekend. Last night, Kyle Busch running in the Truck Series had to get away from him here. William Byron going 3 laps down early with the issue. So it does not care what your name is, what your resume is, how many races you've won, championships, it will bring you down. We're going to get a competition caution here in a few laps. I said going to break. Paul Tipster is leading here, first time he's led, despite the fact he's been to victory lane. You both looked at me funny, but you've fixed the problem here. You figured it out. We figured it out. It took us a moment, but there was a car that got thrown out for not being legal, and he finished second. That's right. Is that right?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Denny Hamlin won this race in 2019. Did not pass post-race inspection. Cole Custer doesn't lead a lap, but he does get the win, and you see what he's accomplished here. That average finish of 3.8 is really impressive.
Yeah, you say he's never led a lap here, but boy, that 3.8 average finish is strong. It says he's right around the front all the time. Obviously showing that the first run of this race, but this is definitely that part of the run right now, guys. That look at the back end of the double zero. He's leading the race. He is sliding around. These cars are out of control. 20 laps into a run. This is when you start to see the comers and goers, right? The cars that fired off real fast may start to start feeling a bit of a penalty by using their tires. The fall off is huge here. They're almost they're 2.5 seconds or slower right now off the pace of what their fastest laps were.
Good battle for fifth. 81, Shane Smith. 21 is Austin Hill. Austin 2 wins this year. Came 2 races of the season. Daytona and Atlanta was second here last fall to Denny Hamlin.
It is fun to watch them slide around here, though. They look like, they're having fun, kind of, but if you're going backwards, it's the most frustrating part. If you're sideways moving forward, you're like, oh, this is all right. This is kind of a good
Like the slick go-kart trash, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's times late in the run you go, gosh, I can't believe I'm going this slow. And it's all you got. And then someone puts on new tires and blows your doors off. Yes. It's that. But, we're literally we're 3 seconds off the pace from what their fastest laps were at the end of this run.
And there's the caution. This is the competition caution. NASCAR said they would throw right around lap 20 because we had no practice or qualifying here yesterday. Fall off. And our ghost car helps us illustrate what it means over the long run here. This is what you were just talking about, Joe. Like, yeah, this is what it looks like to me.
It's crazy. Look at the amount of distance. That's half the track so far we've watched. Look where the lap 2 is. I mean, he's going to be a straightaway ahead just in 1 lap. That's what tires are worth at Darlington.
Great way of illustrating. I love this animation, guys.
Half a straightaway.
Still, that's 3 or 4 laps, and you're all the way back to where you were. You say, well, why don't you just pit all the time then? Well, you've only got 6 sets of tires, and we're going to see one of those sets get used here by the majority of the field.
Yeah, I would think so. Competition lap, caution here on lap 20. You got to get to lap 45. We just saw the amount of fall off there. Really hard to save a set when there's that much fall off here.
Waiting for pit road to open this time by. We'll see our first pit stops of the day with this competition caution that came out at lap 21. Right as soon as, well, lap 20 technically, but as soon as, well, it was lap 21. As soon as the first 20 laps were completed by all the lead lap cars is when the cop yellow came out per usual there, so. Cole Custer about to lead him down as he's led every lap of the race from the pole so far.
The one car up a couple of positions from where he started the race earlier. He's needs to a little bit better. But as he ran, he got too loose in turns 1 and 2, so kind of a double adjustment needed on that car. The 81 and 2 Smith has 0 front turn anywhere in his car. Lateral grip is good. That means the back's not sliding anywhere, but the front will not turn. Climbing the hill or through the center. Josh? 0-0 Cole Custer. He said that car fired off just a little bit. He needs a little help in the front as well. But it's the rear grip he was losing. I'm making a couple adjustments for him. As far as the 16 of AJ Allmendinger. Well, getting off pit road there, almost hit into the double 7, or the 7 that is, or his biggest concern building 3.
Race leader Kuster had a long stop. Race off pit road. 21 car's been good all season when you talk about the guys that go.
They really have been. 5 positions gained on a 4-tire stop for Austin Hill. Come on as the leader. Allmendinger, the big loser in the top 10, losing 3 positions. Sheldon Creed up 3 spots after losing several on the initial start of the race as well. So Austin Hill will be the new leader in this one. We get back to racing at Darlington. You're listening live on KRC to the Crown Royal Purple Bag Project 200 at Darlington Raceway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. 27 likes on stream, well more than that many people watching. Be sure to hit the like button, ladies and gentlemen, so we can get to that goal of 100 likes. We did hit our goal for likes during the live commentary stream for the NASCAR Cup Series practice and qualifying session earlier this morning. It's been a pretty long last, I don't know, probably 18 hours or so. We streamed late last night, 10 p.m. start time for the Truck Series. I'd been up all day, before that. And then stayed up there for you guys, giving you the content, giving you the commentary. And that ended up finishing out at 12:30 in the morning. Then we turn around this morning at 10:30 a.m., about 10 hours after the finish of last night's stream, having to go get the practice qualifying stream out to you guys now here for this one. And I do plan on another one later today as well. Our Cup Series stream tomorrow will begin at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So again, tomorrow's live commentary stream for the Cup Series will begin at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And it'll be the Goodyear 400 Cup Series Darlington Throwback event. Austin Hill, Justin Allgaier towards the very front of the field here for this restart. Remember, all these teams have 6 sets of tires, so 5 sets still remaining following the Cop Yellow. Many more will be for tomorrow's Cup race, which has a 400-mile scheduled distance. NASCAR 2311 Cup Series Racing, thanks for tuning in. As well as Jordan Kirby, welcome to the stream. My pick today is AJ Allmendinger. Lost some spots on pit road there, falling to 6th. He was in 2nd. Second initially, did fall to 3rd right before the Cop Yellow came out. They are back from the commercial break right now. Mentioned the big loser on pit road in the top 10 was Allgaier losing 3. The big loser, though, was Cole Custer. He went in with the lead, a very slow stop on the left side. Had troubles getting the left front tire off, it looked like. And by the time they got the left front tire changed, he ends up rolling off pit road 22nd. Came back on the pit road, I believe, to top off and maybe make sure that that tire was secured tightly. So now he's back in 33rd. So Custer, after leading from the pole for the first 20 laps to the comp yellow, is now at the back of the field, and we'll really get to see how fast he is as he tries to charge to the front. Byron had an issue already. They didn't bring out a caution. He got up against the wall, fell multiple laps down after cutting a right front tire. So a couple of the heavier hitters already having problems. Back under racing in the middle of turns 1 and 2 on the restart. Austin Hill, despite being the control car, will not come off turn 2 with the lead. It'll be Justin Allgaier, who is on the inside of row 1 on the restart, who does get out in front of him and clears the 21 car. Hill to the middle and upper groove, and about a full lane down below that white hashed line on the inside on the apron was Justin Allgaier. Pretty much halfway through the corner before rising up near the wall by the exit. Hill with a better run on the front stretch as a result of running a higher lane, but he wasn't all the way up near the wall necessarily. Everybody Diamond cuts the corners down through turns 1 and 2. First time today Allgaier has led. Might have picked the wrong veteran. I said it was going to be between Allgaier and Allmendinger, and Allgaier's in the lead here in the early going, but a lot of racing still to go. Only on lap 28 this time by out of 147. About a 3-car length lead at the line for Allgaier. Opened it up just a little bit from one lap to the next. Sheldon Creed still hanging on to third on the restart, but he's holding up quite a few cars behind him. And now Sam Mayer is going to get by Creed for position. And A.J. Allmendinger to the inside of Creed as well. Door to door on the front straightaway. 17 laps to go yet in stage 1. Allgaier battling still underneath Creed. They've been side by side for almost a full lap. 3 wide to the inside goes Chandler Smith. And they're still 3 wide into turn 3. Not sure how this is going to work. That was a bold move by Chandler Smith. Very late dive, middle of the back straightaway. And that failed pass attempt is going to open the door up for Parker Kligerman to maybe make a pass now on Chandler Smith instead. Creed barely keeps it off the wall. A.J. Allmendinger has a drop in line behind him as he lifts. It holds up both the cars who are still side by side for the 48 and the 81, and now the 20. Well, now we're only going to go 3 wide to the bottom. So by the time they actually entered turn 3, Eric Almirola was side by side with the 81 car, already had the 48 clear, so he wasn't 3 wide bottom getting into the corner like Chandler Smith was a few laps ago, so it allowed him to at least make one of the 2 passes. Now we're down to just 15 laps remaining here at the Darlington Raceway in stage 1. Taylor Gray moving through the field pretty quickly. He's already up to 10th after starting, I believe, in 19th place today. Shane Van Gisbergen has dropped back a few positions, and we've got another car who has gotten into the wall and has cut a right front tire as a result under green flag conditions. This time it's Jeremy Clements in the 51. So Clements is down on pit road, unscheduled stop. Austin Hill still keeping close to the back of the race leader, Justin Allgaier. Sam Mayer running the fastest laps of those in the top 3 right now as he's closing in on both of them. Top 3 within 0.6 of a second of one another, and a bigger roughly 2-second gap between the 3rd and 4th place cars. Carson Quaffle making his Darlington debut in his 3rd series start. Began this race in 13th. He is currently in 15th. Battling Ryan Sieg for the 14th place position just ahead of him. 13 to go in stage 1. Another side-by-side commercial break on FS1. At least during the green flag conditions today, we're 2 for 2 with getting those, so that's good to see. We'll go through the full field running order for the first time today with 116 to go already in a just 31 lap completed race thus far. Again, Justin Allgaier with the race lead. Still a couple car lengths out ahead of Austin Hill in 2nd. Sam Mayer is 3rd. Sheldon Creed 4th. And A.J. Allmendinger is 5th. Chandler Smith 6th. Eric Almirola 7th. Parker Kligerman 8th. Jesse Love 9th. And Taylor Gray in 10th. 11th place is Parker Retzlaff. Riley Herbst in 12th. 13th for Brandon Jones. 14th for Ryan Sieg. Sammy Smith 15th. Carson Quaffel's fallen to 16th place. 17th is Anthony Alfredo. Brandon Poole 18th. Cole Custer up to 19th after restarting 33rd. And Kyle Weatherman is in 20th. Jeb Burton 21st. Shane Van Gisbergen in 22nd. Matt DiBenedetto 23rd. 24th for Josh Williams. 25th for Kyle Seedbling. Perkins 26th. Ryan Ellis 27th. David Starr 28th. Haley Deegan 29th. Chad Fincham 30th. Patrick Emerling 31st. John Hunter Nemechek still back at 32nd. Not sure what's going on there. Josh Balicki is in 33rd. Garrett Smithley 34th. Dawson Cran 35th. Leland Honeyman 36th. He's the last car in the lead lap. Jeremy Clements has fallen 5 laps down off the track at 38th. Or still on the track, but had the unscheduled pit stop here under green. William Byron is 2 laps down as of right now as well. If it stays green to the end of the stage, it'll be interesting if the leaders are going to catch any more lap cars. Byron's hoping they don't so he can get another lap back and go from 2 down to 1 down. I do believe Byron got free pass. No, Leland Honeyman got the free pass during the Comp Yellow. So he was the only one a lap down initially, which kept Byron 2 down still. So now we'll see if Byron can get his lap back here. 3 wide on the racetrack again around Cole Custer, Carson Quaffle. A little bit of contact between Quaffle and the car to his outside, which would be the 8 of Sammy Smith. Custer has to lift before getting into turn 1 and not make it 3 wide into that corner this time. But Custer's moving through the field a lot quicker than even William Byron and John Hunter Nemechek have done starting towards the back. So I think Custer's got a really good car. 3 wide underneath him, though, goes the 91 of Kyle Weatherman. Custer having to hold on to that middle groove. Just holds clear in the 91. Still door-to-door, though, with Brendan Poole in the 44 car. He's been side-by-side with him for over a lap. 8 laps to go in stage 1.
That's the one in the last couple. It's the fact that he's coming off that unbelievable that he did at Dover when he finished in. So, I mean, this is a team that started to get better and better as the season has rolled along.
There's just some great racing through the field right now, and we said he's patient and wait for the runs to come to him at the right time. But
Carson really loose off the turns right in front of Cole Custer. Nice save for him.
The Cole's just being disciplined down on that line. Crossing that seam is a pretty good banking transition where he's at there. So you gotta always kind of do it slow. Spray it down a little bit easy before you break the back of the car loose. But then he's gonna try to roll through the bottom here 1 and 2. So to get it set, he's gonna try to charge it through the center of the corner. Got him clear.
Nice job. Let's go back to Carson Quaffle and the save that he had. He's doing a nice job here early. First ever laps at Darlington. Watch this. Just getting a little bit on the apron, Joey. It's a little bit rough down there, and that car just turns. Great job counter steering over.
That on top of a car to his right side. Yes. Rather than loose off forward.
4 laps to go. These guys have used every bit of tire.
Right out here. Take them if you got it at this point. Like you said, 4 laps to go. Use them up, and you're going to get tires here in a second. Especially if you're Cole Custer, you got to get every spot you can. You know you have a winning race car. You want to try to set up the next stage as close to the front as possible.
Thanks for 7th. Freed and Amarola, and right behind them, Gypsy Larsing this place for the first time. The rookie doing a nice job in the 2. Amarola fired off really strong here, and it's kind of faded here the last 2 laps. We saw him get passed by Parker and drove up in the top 5. Looks like he might be just a little too free here.
It's still not too bad. He's just made a pass there. He's still hanging, but I'm sure he's working with some adjustments.
Start to think about those stage points. Riley Herbst has done a good job collecting those so far this season, and he's the last driver in line to do it here. 10th with 3 to go on the stage. Freed drove the 2 car last year. Jesse Love driving it this year, and the Deuce is up to 8th in the running order. Best position of the day for the driver out of California. Great battle here for that last stage point. There's a lot of pride in that last stage point, Joey. The top 10 in the stage. Parker Retzlaff, Riley Herbst, right in front of Sheldon Creed, like we were talking about. There's another driver's top 10 in points that haven't had unbelievable seasons, crashed out, maybe had some issues in the final stage, but because they've collected stage points, they've got themselves in a playoff position as we head toward the middle part of the regular campaign. Your Sheldon lifting, he's just a little bit too free up against the wall there. Couldn't stay committed to the gas. And what that means for me is the back's just kind of coming out from underneath them, and you have to slow down a little bit in the center of the corner and just keep that thing from spinning out.
And the last thing you want is someone like that just tucked right up on your left rear corner, just taking all that air off. You're already loose. Not comfortable.
Look at the top five. They're all Chevrolets, but a lot of different teams up there. Allgaier leads from Junior Motorsports, Austin Hill from RCR, Mayer from JRM, Allmendinger from Collie, Kligerman, Big Machine. We're spreading it around. Here is Justin Allgaier back to the green and white checkered flag. Final time around stage one. It's going to be his fifth stage win of 2024. That's the most of all drivers. Ooh, a slide job by Riley Herbst to clear Sheldon Creed for ninth in the stage. It's going to make it count. Yes. Herbst gets ninth, and the final stage point goes to Sheldon Creed. A few years ago, Allgaier got his first win of the season here in Darlington, a two-time winner of the track tuned up to tame, and he's in charge this afternoon after stage one.
There you have it. Justin Allgaier wins stage one by about 1.2 seconds over Austin Hill in P2. Sam Mayer finishes third in the stage. AJ Allmendinger fourth, and Parker Kligerman up to fifth. Chandler Smith sixth, Eric Almirola seventh, Jesse Love eighth, Riley Herbst ninth, and Sheldon Creed 10th. So that is your top 10 at all receiving stage points here in stage one. 1 point per position and a playoff point for the stage winner, Justin Allgaier. Allgaier's led a bunch of laps this season. As we run right now, he's led the most laps of any Xfinity Series regular. Still no wins to show for, and this is his fifth stage win of the year, which now puts him at the most stage wins of any driver this season. Had some in the last start at Dover a couple weeks ago. Can he finally seal the deal and get a win here today? We'll have to wait and see. Be sure to hit the like button on the stream again if you have not done so yet. We're at 35. 35 likes. Just got through stage one. 2 more stages to go. Our goal is to get to 100. Waiting to get back to the action. We will be seeing pit stops again here during the stage break, even with the caution pretty much at the middle portion of stage one for the Comp Yellow. Tires very important here. About a second of fall off every 10 to 15 laps. So definitely want to pit as much as you possibly can. These teams are still going to have 3 sets of tires left the rest of the way. And this is one of the shortest distances for the Xfinity Series this season as well. Only 200-mile race. Already down to 100 laps to go. So 4 more sets of tires, 3 after this one. They definitely have plenty of sets to make it to the end. And this caution, obviously the second of the day. None for incident yet, but we had a couple cars get up against the wall and have dropped off the lead lap as a result. Honeyman did stay on the lead lap at the end of the last stage, so William Byron gets the free pass during the stage one caution. Average race speed still a little over 125 mile per hour at this point. Cole Custer from the pole led the first 22 laps and had to restart at the tail end of the field on the restart. Made his way just outside the top 10, didn't quite get into position for stage points, but Justin Allgaier, who won the stage, has now led 22 laps and counting. And we'll see if he can win the race off pit road next. Austin Hill, who won the race off pit road, gaining 5 positions the last time with a 4-tire stop, is in second and maybe in the prime position to get back to the lead again.
Throwing it back to Cole Trickle, Days of Thunder. and the fans doing their part as well. Our producer, Eric Mandy, is full end on it. Let's go back to Daytona, 1990 Xfinity race. Greg Sachs actually drove the City Chevrolet scheme in the Xfinity race because they wanted some film for the movie, and they used these clips in the movie. Dale Earnhardt won the race. Harry Gant was second. Greg Sachs finished third in that race. It is a classic. I think of that scheme, as a kid. I remember when Days of Thunder came out. That scheme was just a total classic, along with the Kyle Petty Mellow Yellow car.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's still the in my opinion, the best NASCAR racing movie ever made.
Yes.
By a long shot.
Probably search some feelings with that.
I probably did, but
you get Twitter and
the whole time. It's more realistic.
It stops into stage one, Regan.
Adam Sam Mayer continuing to have a good run right now. Biggest issue, though, is he is loose in turns 1 and 2, but too tight in turn 4. Can't be any looser in 1 and 2. So they're debating how they're going to fix that, and if they want to take a little bit of their ability in 1 and 2 away. And now it's got his car turn a little bit better. It's the right rear like he wants it. The front still not quite keeping up, John. From 7 up, Justin Allgaier fired off tight on lost grip towards the end of that run. They're going to make it a jump in to help him out. Safety. Hill. That car fired off just a little bit tight, lost grip, but he said, I love the time. It was 20 minutes. Race on the road.
It's big when we had that caution. 21 team delivers again, plus one. Allgaier goes back to second. Mayer holds serve. Same for Clearman. And Allmendinger drops back to fifth. It lined up for stage 2. It was that close coming off. 21 strong on the pit lane. He'll be in control when we were.
Yeah, it's almost not even a surprise at this point. Austin Hill wins the race out of the pits once again. What is kind of a surprise is that his only 2 wins so far are those first 2 races of the year, popping off at Daytona and Atlanta. By way of the laps led this season for Austin Hill, 101, which isn't bad by any means, but considering most of those were on the super speedways, he is the 5th highest. So despite making a strong run last season, he just missed out on the championship 4. We all know how that Martinsville round of 8 elimination race went last year for him. But this year, trying to get to the championship 4 as a redemption season, I don't know that he's a for sure lock for it. Although he is 3rd in the regular season standings, he's clicking away with good finishes. Just kind of quiet under the radar in most of these races this season, and his pit crew obviously helping him out a ton, time in and time out as they get him the lead again here, so he is going to be able to try to lead more laps once again. We will take a quick ad break, continue our live commentary stream right here on KRC. You're listening to the NASCAR Xfinity Series at Darlington. B. Dobson, thanks for tuning in. He's taking the 20. Again, you have until the end of Stage 2 to vote for who you think will win this race today. 56 votes have been casted so far. 41% of you say somebody other than the 16, the 81, and the 00 will win. 30% saying Cole Custer. Let's move it through the field. Definitely looks quick. Chandler Smith, only 5% of those votes, and 23% of you say AJ Allmendinger will win. I'm glad I didn't put Byron in the poll because he had that early hit into the wall. He does get a lap back here, so he's going to be 1 lap down when we begin Stage 2. Get a quick yellow to begin this stage. He's back on the lead lap, and not sure how much damage he has on the right side of his race car after pancaking the wall like he did. I would imagine it's so damaged that it's going to be nearly impossible for him to get it in the top half of the field, but we'll see. You never know. Once again, a reminder, NASCAR 07 came back on the channel last night, a little 50% Busch Series race, and we're actually going to run it back again here later this evening. 7 p.m. Eastern Time, an all-day streaming affair here. Triple header on your Saturday. 2 live commentary streams. This one right now. We had Cup Series practice qualifying earlier this morning, but again, 7 p.m. later tonight, I'll be doing a full race for a Busch Series on NASCAR 07, and it will be at Watkins Glen. So that'll be a fun one. That's always a wild race on those EA games, so yeah, we'll do that. And then, of course, come back tomorrow afternoon, better than ever, and run our NASCAR Cup Series Goodyear 400 live commentary stream at Darlington as well.
Yeah, I agree. You should let me. 7 years. Done. I mean, just crushing it. And they did right here. This sequence here came out in the lead, beat Justin Allgaier's team off the road. He's going to control the restart. And look what he did here, Joey. He kicked bottom. And on the way around, the 17 car knocked down to one lap. He get back in contention here, guys. He took the wave around the competition caution. It's the free pass here. So as you said, one lap down.
Yeah, from 3 laps down to 1 lap down now for Byron. Can he get that last lap back? We'll have to wait and see. Green flag back in the air. Austin Hill with a much better restart this time on the inside of row 1. Didn't get a great push from behind, though, into the first turn. And ripping the outside lane is Allgaier once again, and he's clear of Austin Hill. So Hill has tried the top, he's tried the bottom. Neither one works. And Allgaier, both times, despite not being the control car, comes out with the race lead off turn 2, all clear. Sam Mayer still in third. Now he's looking for the second place position on Austin Hill, running slightly wider than him in turns 3 and 4, trying to build some momentum up to maybe make a dive bomb pass in turn 1. Speaking of dive bomb pass, Brandon Jones in the 9, underneath the 98 of Herbst with a big move off of turn 4, slides up, takes the line away, practically knocked the 98 up against the wall. I don't know if Herbst actually got a piece of it or not. Had to lift, though. That extra lift in the middle of 1 and 2 allowed for Chandler Smith to also get by and into the top 10. 81 in the 98 battle for the 10th place position. It is so tightly bunched together right there in that general area between 10th and about 15th. Austin Hill going to try to battle back, though, on Justin Allgaier. Got to the inside of the 7 car in the middle of turns 1 and 2, but almost said AJ. Justin Allgaier did win the race down the front straightaway. Continues on with the lead again. Cole Custer, Carson Kvapil battling for position, still outside the top 10 as both of those drivers, right around 14th. Hill takes another swing at it again, back-to-back laps in turns 1 and 2. That time he's more on the inside of Allgaier getting into the corner rather than the second half of the corner, so he's slightly more behind him on the back straightaway this lap than the lap before. About 2 to 3 tenths of a second is the difference. Allgaier's a lot more consistent with running the top. Hill not running it right behind him, trying to get a little clean air in the nose, and he's still staying with the 7 for the moment. Top 3 within about 3/4 of a second of each other. Justin Allgaier with still that car length and a half gap on the backstretch. And AJ Allmendinger fourth is starting to reel in the top 3 as well. 90 laps to go this time by. And about 33 laps to go yet in stage 2. And no green flag pit stops will be had at all in stage 2. And more than likely that'll be the case in stage 3 as well. Even if we go green without any cautions for incident the rest of the day. Really, that'd be the entire day. We consider the only 2 cautions so far were not incidental cautions as well. Again, that stage 1 end at lap 45 and the comp yellow at lap 20. Start for the rookie Jesse Love. Of course, another one of those younger drivers not getting the benefit of any practice time yesterday with the rain out, as well as qualifying. He's ran back half of the top 10 the whole race and is currently still stuck in the 7th place position. Fastest car on track the last lap was the race leader, Justin Allgaier, but Hill within a few hundredths just behind him. And everybody in the top 6 positions all ran within about a tenth of a second of each other, roughly of each other. Cole Custer's not been able to get by Carson Kvapil on this restart. Still in the 14th and 15th place positions. I believe Custer got the 13th at the end of the last stage. That slow pit stop really did him in. Might have went the wrong way on an adjustment or something as well, as he definitely not moving forward as quickly now. Maybe conserving his tires a little bit more for the later going of the run and trying to pick the positions up in the second half of the stage, expecting the long green flag run. But whatever the case is here, Custer is still stuck outside the top 10. The longer it takes for him to get in, the less of a chance he's going to have of getting to the front of the field. It's just such a short race. We saw that with Nick Sanchez last night in the truck race. It's not enough time. And what is one of the shortest races, if not the shortest race by way of race length for the Xfinity Series this season. 200-mile races are somewhat, reminiscent or somewhat predictable in the Truck Series. Get 200 to 250-mile races. Most of the Xfinity Series races are about 300 miles, 250 to 300. So 200 is not a lot. Saw that at Dover a couple weeks ago as well, 200 miles. So you have back-to-back races on the Xfinity schedule of being some of the shortest of the season. Allgaier's finally starting to extend that lead a little bit. 9/10 of a second ahead now as Austin Hill and Sam Mayer battle more aggressively for second during the full-screen commercial break. Still a little bit shy of the halfway mark. The intervals within the top 10 positions look like this. So again, Allgaier with a 9/10 of a second lead over Austin Hill in second, now making a 1 second lead exactly. 1.1 seconds ahead of Sam Mayer in third. AJ Allmendinger is 1.6 seconds back at fourth. The Parker Kligerman still in fifth, 2.2 seconds off the lead. Eric Almirola is 2.6 seconds back at sixth. Jesse Love 3.8 seconds back at seventh. Brandon Jones at eighth, 4.1 seconds off the lead. Chandler Smith in ninth, 4.3 seconds back as well, and 4.5 seconds off the lead. And 10th is Riley Herbst. I will say on the longer green flag runs in this race, we're not seeing the field get quite as spread apart as what we saw in the truck race last night. It seemed like the top 2 or 3 would really pull away from everybody else. I mean, we saw a gap of about 14 seconds at one point between first and fourth on the racetrack, over 10 seconds between first and third on that longer green flag run in the final stage. Now, the final stage in this race is that same length, so we'll have to wait and see. Brian Smith, thanks for tuning in. Time is the race today. This Xfinity race, if you're talking about that, it's on right now. And it started at about 1:30 Eastern time. You can see on our live leaderboard how many minutes we've been green. So this, when it was at 000, that was the start of the race. So we're about 45 minutes into this one. About 45 minutes ago, we took the green. Appreciate your comment, by the way, Jordan, down in the chat. Hope to be one day. So you got to be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more NASCAR content like these streams. And when we do get back into regular video game streaming, I do live realistic commentary there as well. I'm just trying to build a reputation for myself.
He kind of stole the show last year. He's off that road with Josh Herring. Thanks. His only debut. Memorial Day weekend, Charlotte Motor Speedway NASCAR Xfinity Series on Fox. Times trying to coverage because I still can't believe that it'll stick this through. I can't believe it, but I am excited about it. I've been up here trying to watch Adam and how he does the play-by-play, and I can promise you it will not be as smooth, but I'm going to try my hardest, and I'll have some fun support there with me as well. The knowledge will be greater. You two go ahead, dive in, give us a little driver. So this is a warm-up, Joey. It's a warm-up here. Drivers only here in Darlington. Right now, we see 23 laps to go with the stage inside with AJ Allmendinger. He's really working that wall for turn 4, Joey. See the kind of open his hands up a little bit. My hands are tired. He's going to drive it into turn 3, and look how loose he's going to get up against the wall. You see him kind of soft on that wheel. That's turn 1 and 2. But I hope you think that's 3 tomorrow with such something like Jesus. Cruises down in there, gets up next to the wall, gets that air cushion. The closer the cars are, the more side force the car makes. If your car's balanced up good enough to do that, it's faster. The risk is also very. If you push it a little too much, you hit the wall and it's a trouble. You look down here in 1 and 2, runs a little bit lower for most of the corner there, and it gets this patch. That patch has a lot of grip. A lot of grip, but also really bumpy, really easy to get in trouble there as the cars will bottom out, especially early in the run. But right now, like I said, Joey, these guys are right up against the wall, trying to get the best aero side force off the wall to make speed and make up for how loose those cars are, while still not giving up lap time.
And here's a different approach. See, you can go from the bottom, Sheldon Creed, the very, very bottom off of turn 4, trying to straighten out the exit, get the steering wheel out of it, get that lateral out of the car, and turn that launch off the corner as straight as you can. Completely different mindset.
Yeah, he's trading the aerodynamics for mechanical grip. The track down there is a little cooler. It's got less rubber on it. It's got a little bit more mechanical grip to the tires, but less aero grip. So different tactics you can use here at Darlington, and we're seeing them in action here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
We got a little update on the 18 here. Obviously, he's trending 13. He's doing pretty well. What do we got for an update, Regan?
Well, Joe, you see a little bit of a struggle right now so far today for Sheldon Creed in the 18 car. High expectations for this team coming into the race. It's set up very similar to the one that Denny Hamlin won with last fall, but right now, Sheldon Creed, since the start of the race, complaining about the front tires. No front, can't get the car to do what he wants it to.
Hey, Adam, do you mind saving us? Well, again, what I realized, there's a lot more people talking in my ear. I'm trying to watch the race.
I was setting my ear to let you know there will be an email with some notes. So I left that in, actually.
If it's anything like a race team, there'll be plenty of data to look at.
You can't hide anymore, right?
Not anymore.
I'm so frustrated for Cole Custer because he just got stuck back there in the traffic, and he's not been able to move really past Carson Quapple, and it all relates back to that pit stop. What's the update there, Josh?
Yeah, Cole Custer in that 0-0 car right now just keeps complaining he's way too free, especially in the long run. Keep driving the way he wants it. See it back at 15 towards the end of that issue on pit road, and House just not able to make the moves that you'd like to make.
Yeah, he's trying anything he can, and this is kind of a classic, take of you lose your track position, you lose the balance of your car, you get behind on it, just slow down.
So he's learning. Those are some rookie Darlington stripes. We've earned those a couple times.
Something that's nice about in today's racing compared to actually when I think started, right? These composite bodies, you're able to just kind of touch the wall a little bit and not be that big of a deal most of the time. But when with the steel body, you used to knock the fender into the tire and it would put the tire down. You couldn't afford to touch it.
Man, when I was driving in back when I was a rookie 20 years ago, Austin Hill is second at Allgaier. There's a lot going on in the car. So any information that the team guys can give them is just going to make them that much better. And like I did at the start of Austin Hill, a little more short run speed than long run speed. We're seeing Justin Allgaier kind of drive away, and really the teams or the crew chief and spotter, the race engineer is just trying to tell him where he's getting beat.
Yeah, and that always helps, to have that. They have the data they're looking at and say, no, you're getting beat a little bit here. And that's okay. Like, good to know. I can only adjust some things inside the car. You can't fix all of it. You have to sometimes make an adjustment to your car to be able to do something, but it's good to know where your weakness is. Get it.
Allgaier has passed a couple of more cars, putting them a lap down. That means that William Byron is no longer in the free pass position as we head toward the end of stage 2. Just over 10 laps to go. Allgaier out front. He's led 49 circuits today.
Just a little past the halfway mark now, 76 laps down, 71 still to go in this 147 lap race. Justin Allgaier, who won stage 1, has dominated thus far, leading the most laps. He's led 50 plus laps in the race, and he's got about a 2.5 second lead over Austin Hill in second. Right now in third place is Sam Mayer. AJ Allmendinger is fourth. Parker Kligerman fifth. Eric Almirola in sixth. Jesse Love seventh. Brandon Jones in eighth. Ninth is Riley Herbst. And Chandler Smith is 10. So that is the top 10 in the running order late in stage 2. On 11. Stephen Harvey, thanks for tuning in. And Derek Severson, also welcome to the stream. He's pulling for Justin Allgaier. Don't forget, again, you have until the end of stage 2 to vote for who you think is going to win the race. 70 votes have been casted so far. 37% of you say somebody other than the 00, the 81, and the 16 will win. And so far, Justin Allgaier has dominated the lap sled category, as I just mentioned. And also, as I just mentioned, he did win stage 1. So odds are in his favor that that will be the case. That somebody other than those 3 will end up getting the win. In fact, the highest running in the running order of those 3 is AJ Allmendinger in 4th. Then Chandler Smith is 10th, and Cole Custer is back in 15th. So again, we'll end that poll at the end of stage 2. I believe you could switch your vote as well. I say that every week, but now I'm like starting to wonder if that is the case, because I feel like the percentage doesn't sway a whole lot when I say that. Especially in a case like last night where Kyle Busch was out on lap 2, and we still had Busch getting over 50% of the votes by the end of stage 2. And we're back from the full screen commercial break on FS1. Oh, no, another. They're airing a NASCAR ad during the race right now. There we go. Now they're back. 8 laps to go, stage 2. Lap times kind of trading back and forth between the 7 and the 21 at this point in the run. Just depends on exactly where the lap traffic is. Allgaier had to deal with quite a bit that last lap. 7 to go now in stage 2. Last 6 races in Darlington have been very good for Mr. Justin Allgaier. Great points day for Austin Hill, though. We mentioned Allgaier won the first 2 stages. It's looking more than likely that Austin Hill is going to be finishing second in stage 1 and stage 2 today, so he will get 18 stage points. Came in 17 points behind Chandler Smith. Smith's not going to get anywhere near that amount of stage points, so that gap is going to be down very tightly just before the final stage begins. And Cole Custer not getting any stage points in stage 1 and running 15th here in stage 2 as well. So Austin Hill looking like even without a win today, he could potentially come out of this race with the points lead after being 3rd in the standings coming in the 10th race of the season. 5 to go this time by, and Hill has cut that gap down exponentially. Allgaier's been struggling in lap traffic the last several laps, and it's gone from a 2.5 second lead to just a 9/10 of a second lead, and Hill might have a shot to win this stage still. Got 5 to go. Stage 2. Justin Allgaier much quicker that lap, so pretty much all the cars that Allgaier struggled to pass finally got around him, and then Austin Hill had to pass him, and that blimps the lead back up to 1.4 seconds again. Did get tight there for a brief moment. Parker Kligerman as well, a few laps ago during the commercial break, made a pass for 4th on AJ Allmendinger. So Kligerman now starting to work his way through the field, and now Kligerman's going for 3rd on Sam Mayer, going to use the lap car of Dawson Cram as a pick, and Kligerman's up to 3rd. So how about Parker Kligerman moving forward, having a good solid run today? Into the top 3, Riley Herbst started 9th, currently running 9th, staying consistent with where he qualified today. And I believe he finished 10th at the end of stage 1 as well, so getting a few stage points in. That 81 car has not led any laps today. Because we didn't get a quick caution to begin this stage, William Byron is still going to remain 1 lap down at the end of stage 2. And it'll be interesting to see who will get that free pass position to be the first car lap down here in a couple laps at the end of this second stage. I'm interested to see if Carson Quaffle could get going in this final stage. He was 18th in stage 1 on speed at one point, still ended up getting a few more spots off that towards the tail end of the stage. And he's pretty much ran 13th or 14th the entirety of stage 2. He's currently 14th. Started in 13th place today. which was as high as he has been in the running order so far. Allmendinger losing another spot late in the stage, this time to Eric Almirola in the 20. Final lap of stage 2. Allgaier just working his way off the exit of the corner. Still a 1 second gap over Austin Hill. He's managing it well. Shouldn't catch another lap car the rest of this lap. And Justin Allgaier going to sweep the stages in this race. I believe this is going to be the third time he swept the stages in race this season. I believe all 6 of his stage wins have come just in 3 races. But can he win this one? And the last one was at Dover. And he did not win that one, so we'll see. Allgaier's led the most laps of any Xfinity Series regular this season, but again, still has not gone to victory lane. Green and white checkered flag in the air. Allgaier wins stage 2 by 7/10 of a second over Austin Hill. Hill finishes second in the stage. Parker Kligerman 3 seconds back in third. 5 seconds back was Sam Mayer in fourth, and as we saw there not that long ago, Eric Almirola in the closing laps of stage 2 gets to fifth. AJ Allmendinger fell to 6th. Jesse Love stayed in 7th the entire stage, finishes 7th. Brandon Jones 8th. Riley Herbst 9th. Chandler Smith 10th. All those drivers getting stage points in stage of that. Allgaier will now be at 6 stage wins on the season, 2 more. And the next closest driver, Jesse Love, 3 more than the points leader coming into the day, Chandler Smith. You're listening live to the Crown Royal Purple Bag Project 200 at Darlington Raceway on KRC. We'll take a quick ad break, and then we will get to the start of the final stage with pit stops looming. "45 likes on the stream so far. Be sure to hit the like button if you haven't done so yet. And again, subscribe for more NASCAR content. Quick race so far today. First 2 stages finish in less than an hour. And we have the final stage, which is the longest, but only by 12 laps still to go. No cautions for incident at all in this one, which is part of the reason why we've had a quick race pace. And that's even with the extra yellow on top of the stage brakes being added because of the comp caution. Again, no practice or qualifying yesterday. It was washed out before the truck race. Free pass goes to Josh Bilicki in 30th place here with the caution. I don't think we'll see anybody else take the wave around with that entire stage going caution free. Everybody's going to need tires here. And with that being said, each team's going to have 3 sets of tires to begin the final stage. So everybody's going to have plenty sets of tires here in this one. More than likely, you're going to see everybody come to pit road every caution from here on out. Not going to have to save a set for any circumstance. So many cars still on the lead lap in this one with the shorter stages in the shorter race as well. So that's not going to play into a factor in that. Surprised John Hunter Nemechek's only gotten to 24th. I believe that's as high as he has been in the running order today. I know he's not in a Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, but even still, we've seen the 26 car, whether it's been driven by Kaz Grala or some of the other drivers in a part-time role running that 26 for Sam Hunt Racing, not only this season, but in the last couple of years, have had decent runs. I would have damage or what the case is there. Shane Gisbergen's not having a bad run. His Darlington debut with no practice or qualifying, currently 18th. Really only a few positions behind where Carson Quaffel's at. So we will be getting pit stops. And you'll get to listen into those pit reports. Obviously, a max stage point day so far for Allgaier. If he wins, it'll be a full max points day, getting 60. For winning both stages and the race. 6 drivers get double digits in stage points. In total, 9 Xfinity Series regulars get stage points here today. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Well, yeah, never mind. Because I don't think that's including Eric Almirola on that list. with Almirola not running for Xfinity Series points because he hasn't ran every race this season. So that's why it was at 9. Just going to say, there has to be at least 10 in one stage. And I haven't noticed any Cup guys up there at least today.
And it's a little bit different right now. I want to say more than what it was that car when that run, the whole run getting easier and easier the entire time. It's a significant adjustment. They're going to take a big swing at it. Six might be a big now, but the opposite turns of work and not down the Justin Allgaier has swept the stages today, so he's a little more in the left rear to be able to be better on the long run from all the pit road. That's how they're getting a 7. Let's see if they can do it once again here, guys.
Couple of bobbles on pit road, and this time the 17 able to jump out in front of the 21. Eric Almirola, they mentioned the slow con down there. Josh did his pit stop, getting it done on the racetrack and on pit road. He goes +2. And Parker Kligerman, we've been celebrating him, comes in 3rd, leaves 10th. They lost 7 positions in that exchange.
Top break for Kligerman to lose that many positions on pit road. Did a great job driving his way to 3rd, and now he'll be restarting in 10th.
That's one booth. You got us?
Talking with Kligerman.
Well, and we're to the last couple seconds here for you. Your car is looking spectacular, especially on the long haul. What's making your car so good on the long run?
Hey, Ray, if you live by Max Donnie, you're probably a rocket ship of a flight forward. Chevy has taken speed team. You know, it's a rotor software has speed team. It was 3 handshakes with it, and no pressure. And I think we all rose up the occasion here. But yeah, it's been awesome. Just take care of the rear tires on the long run, you know, trying to find the grip out here. I love this place, so it's so fun searching around and just finding the grip and making it work for you. But we got a little work to do here, but we got a long way to go. We still in it.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely are. They told us that your crew chief said he'd be happy with a top 12, but to me, I think you got a winning race car.
Being fast, here at the end, get the 6 flag.
Coming from 10th in the final stage, it will be entertaining if he's able to get there. Free pass goes to Josh Felicki. And we mentioned the problem on pit road. Chandler Smith was 10th, but goes in the wrong direction as the gas can got hung up there.
Probably going to be a lengthy cleanup on pit road with that gas can leaking some fuel all over the place. So they're going to have to get that cleaned up on pit road. We're going to restart with less than 50 laps to go in this race. And we saw most of the final stage of the truck race last night go caution-free until we had a yellow very, very late in the going. Obviously, which set up the overtime restart. But we'll see what's going to end up happening here in this one. We may see green flag pit stops. We may not. I would imagine we probably won't. And any sort of laps we get under green flag conditions would lead to pit stops. Even if we only have like 5, I would imagine everybody would come to pit road because everybody still has 3 sets of tires left. Allgaier will be the control car in this restart. That was not the case the last 2 restarts. Austin Hill won the race out of the pits the first 2 times, but had lost the lead and ended up running second behind Allgaier both times. Can hang with the 7 car for a few laps. Once you get 5, 6, 7 laps plus into the run, that's when Allgaier starts to pull away a little bit. And Allgaier has not had more than a 2.5 second lead in this one, so gets out to about that lead, manages it, just conserving his tires, doesn't need to get out 10 seconds ahead of the field. It looks flashy, but you don't need to, and we'll have to see if he can continue on with the good restarts as he's had so far and try to finally seal the deal for himself. We've been talking about Fords throughout all 3 series having bad luck this season with no wins, but Justin Allgaier in that 7 car has had some terrible luck this year as well. A few races he probably shouldn't have won pretty easily, and whether it be just dumb luck or maybe not capitalizing on a late race situation. We'll have to see how this works itself out. Maybe today will be the day for Justin Allgaier. So Thomas, thanks for tuning into the stream as well. Up to 46 likes now. We're almost halfway to our goal of 100. Once again, be sure to hit that like button if you guys have not done so yet. And subscribe for more NASCAR content so we can get to that goal of 100 likes. Very late in the going here. 50 laps left at the Darlington Raceway.
South hours, and we're also cool with your Sunday. That's pretty good. It's not that cash, right? Well, you want to trade one out? No. It's a nice crowd to have. Day, but I give you baseball bat with pads on. Is that when you play baseball? Well, Bo Jackson did a shoot in the early 90s because he played professional, football, baseball, and so I went with it. Okay, Bo. Bo knows. Bo knows that Justin Allgaier is strong. Wins the stage, wins the race off pit road, been great today, and takes the outside lane for the restart as we line him off the stage at Darlington. And we've seen the battle that this has been the same front row in every restart so far. The 21 and the 7, the 7's won every time. He's going to win again. Now, well, the best running position of the day is third. Mayer right behind him. And Brandon Jones continues the climb. The 9 is fifth. Can't say enough good things about Jesse, the rookie, and the 2 looking for more inside of play hoops. That red 98 on the outside. It's so hard to get momentum off the corner there. He's trying to pull back Riley Hurt, so I side drafted him there off the bottom, but just not enough momentum off the there. Bill hanging around that. He's right on him, Adam. He's really pressuring. He's trying to make Justin run a little bit harder than Justin wants to. And he's got a little bit more turn right here in the middle of 3 and 4. He's using that to get this big run and just challenge Justin all the way through 1 and 2. And this has kind of been the cat and mouse game that we've seen the last few restarts. Yeah, no 2 runs are the same, but if you looked at these 2 the last time, same look. Austin Hill is pressuring Justin Allgaier for a little bit. Justin yapped himself, got a little bit of space there. And then towards the end of the run, Austin Hill is actually reeling him back in a little bit. Right? I mean, these are short stages, including the final stage. So if you don't get a caution, they're not going to put again. And this has been a green flag race, right? So does that change how aggressive you are taking care of your race car, and in particular your tires in the situation? You start this run at them assuming that this is going to run out green, and you're going to have to go almost 50 laps on this set of tires. And I'm going to tell you, these guys are out of control after 35. Oh, what a battle right here. Austin says, I'm not saving these tires. No, I'm going to go Nation. Oh, caution's out. Haley Deegan. Just as we said, we've not had a caution for incident. We get one. 4th yellow with
Not the beautiful paint scheme.
15, the Dale Earnhardt throwback. That's
a
major career. They just panel off that car. Off of it. Also lost the fuel probe. That's that green piece you see hanging out.
Oh.
Drop it down. What happened here? Well, before she got into the corner there, you got to think that, either she ran over something that had contact. Yeah, tire rub with some sort of some contact for sure, Joe. We just typically don't see left rear tire failures in the NASCAR Xfinity series. Sometimes in the Cup series you see it, but almost never in this series. A lot of damage as the tire carcass comes apart.
Maybe had the air pressure too low on the restart, potentially.
I think they have 2 sets of position.
They really call you really want to put the tires on here, because if the race stays green, you're going to need them, and they're going to win the race. The guys that have new tires, but
2 sets of 45 laps to go. Put them on, baby. I'm coming down pit road.
And this is really big for one driver in particular. 17, William Byron, first car 1 lap down. After being 3 laps down, he will get the free pass and be back on the lead lap. Did he win this race? Become the first driver to sweep the weekend since Brad did it, 2018. That takes us to our promo for tomorrow. It's the Darlington, which begins 1:30 Eastern time. We fly the green flag at 3. It's the Goodyear 400. You look fast today, qualifying. Yeah, really fast. I'm super excited for tomorrow. My teammate Chris Busher and I, we've got really great cars. Showed a lot of speed last week. Chris almost winning. Kansas, it was close as I said. Is that what you would call that? Almost. Yeah. He didn't get the trophy. That was close. Maybe a quarter inch short. So we're looking for 1,000th of a second more this week with our cars. So excited for tomorrow. It sounds like sarcasm, but it's not. No, it's not. You literally need 1,000th of a second. Yes. All right, so pit road did not open this time. It gives these guys a little bit more time to think about this tough decision. If they do pit, they'll be pitting with 40 laps until they go green, right? So there's 44 to go. We'll run off 3 or 4 laps, and they'll be able to make it from there very easily. We just anticipate we're going to get crazy finishes in the Xfinity Series, been having it all year. Let's go back to Dover. Paul Custer leading, really had the dominant car. It had rained. We get a red flag. They eventually pitted. And then Allgaier jumped out front, but he had to pit because they were concerned about fuel. It put Ryan Truex out front with like the 88 might win in his second career start. Instead, it's the 20 who gets the job done on the restart. Ryan Truex wins for a second straight season at Dover as the caution comes out after the leader had taken the white flag. We've been getting our money's worth in the booth this year.
That's just one example of one of the crazy races we've had. Atlanta comes to mind. I mean, there were so many just wild things happening in the Xfinity Series. And this race has been pretty interesting so far, for sure. Let's listen to the 20 radio a little bit on some strategy options they have.
Everyone looks like they may come. Everyone else is kind of hanging out on pit road. We would prefer to stay out. I'd like to run more laps for where it's more defensive. I don't really want to get back in the horn yet.
Yes, I know a feeling pits will be open this time, and we're going to see what these crew chiefs are going to do. Other thought here, 30 cars on the lead lap. Where does that fit into the equation when you talk about managing your strategy?
Well, a lot of them are staying out, almost all of them.
Yep.
The split happens when it's not even a split.
Yeah,
it's just one car.
A Lone Ranger. I'm really surprised by this. This actually works out in the leader's favor. You know, you would be concerned if it was the top 5 on back bidding. But since it's one car so far back, even with the speed advantage, it's going to be Parker Kligerman that's bidding. It's going to be really hard for him to drive through everybody. Jim Pullman, the crew chief for Allgaier, said, yes, thank you very much. Allmendinger was in as well. We'll come right back to Darlington after this.
42 laps to go at the Darlington Raceway in the NASCAR Xfinity Series Throwback Weekend race. Justin Allgaier is currently your race leader. Under caution, we'll go through the full field running order once we get this next lap in the books, as we have a few cars on pit road, so we'll have to wait for our leaderboard to update. Other race stats to this point: 76 laps led for your current race leader, Justin Allgaier. He won the first 2 stages of the race today, and he has led 2 different times. Cole Custer from the pole led the first 21 laps of the race. And then we ended up seeing 1 lap led by A.J. Allmendinger on a restart. And it looks like 6 laps led today for Austin Hill, none under green. Those are both winning the races off pit road at the stage 1 end. And then the competition caution pit stop that we had back in stage 1 as well. Hill still continues on in the second place running order. Yeah, so Kligerman came onto pit road there from about 6, so waiting for our leaderboard to update. And then we'll go through the full field running order before we begin this next restart. A little over an hour and 15 minutes after the drop of the green flag of the race today. Mike G, hopeful, thanks for tuning in as well. Welcome into the stream. Now, 52 likes on the stream right now as well. Be sure to hit that like button if you have not done so yet. Closing portion of this race. Getting down to crunch time. Seen a lot of classic finishes with the Xfinity Series at Darlington the last several years. While we're waiting for them to come back from the commercial break at the end of stage 2, I didn't do the diecast showing. I have the diecast right here, so we'll do it now while we're under caution under a commercial break. This is a 2020 throwback scheme from the Southern 500. I was at this race. It was my only trip ever to Darlington. And after this race, I told myself I was going to get the coolest throwback scheme from that weekend. Well, none, in my personal opinion, is cooler than this. It is Jimmy Johnson's 2020 diecast. And fitting, a 7-time champion to get a diecast of his in his final season. No other driver could run this paint scheme other than a 7-time champion, Jimmy Johnson. It's the other 2 7-time champions. It's a Richard Petty diecast on the top. It's a Dale Earnhardt on the side panel, the front bumper, the back bumper, the original black number 3. Obviously, it's the 48 because it's Jimmy Johnson. But then, you got the Petty blue. It's a great scheme. Looks like an STP logo with Ally. Ally did a great job with this. They've done a great job with the Lowe's throwback scheme they have this weekend as well. Ally's been very, very good with rebranding themselves on throwback weekend and not really caring that their logo doesn't look like their logo like other sponsorships would do. So here it is. And you see 7-time champion there on the bottom. And 3 7-time champions all in one here. But yeah, this Jimmy Johnson diecast is definitely one of the favorite ones that I have. And see the Goodyear tires from that year as well. The details on those. 2020, I ended up getting this last season at Talladega. I bought this diecast. So the Talladega spring race ended up going to. That's where I bought this. Getting ready for a restart.
7, we've talked about before, the outside lane doesn't have as much forward drive. Easier to spin the rear tires on the outside lane. Now you have a restart with older tires. Instead of choosing the top, this might be the chance that Austin Hill has to maybe regain the lead of this one.
Attaboy for Ryan Sneak, Jeff 12. Again with 3-9 to go.
Just hooked him up pretty well there, but still, Austin Hill's going to get a good run into 1. So a really low entry is a really working out for him.
Down here, a little squeezing high. All the energy's getting really high. Lots of contact in the back of the field. 19 is direction, blocking yellow car, middle of your screen. Left from the aerial. Sam Mayer trying to get into 1. He's driving down underneath the 20 of Almirola, but Almirola holds him off.
We've seen Art get into the wall there through 1 and 2 on the restart. Which one, if you didn't have his tires all the way clean or just expecting more grip than this refire on tires?
Look at Sieg having a day. Mitch inside the top 12 on the restart. Meanwhile, back to the 16 of Allmendinger. Not having a good day. This is not what he needed.
Oh, there's my pick.
But it's fear for the Collar group. One thing they are thankful for, Supreme Course race is on the way next in Sonoma back-to-back, where you got to believe Allmendinger and Shane Van Gisbergen will be really, really good. And there's the 97 right there. Throwing it back to Marcus Ambrose. And the 81 of Chandler Smith on those those fresh tires as he came down the pit lane.
So these battles were throughout the pack. And the congestion, when they get off of turn 4 or even turn 2, and all the momentum kind of swings around on everybody, and it gets quick. It's fun to watch. Cole Custer get to the inside of Sheldon Creed now in the 1. Kind of a game of chicken here, Brad, in the turn 1. Who's going to drive in harder and get position?
Cole runs him up a little bit. But not too much. Not clear him. He's going to have a good battle down on turn 3.
Cole really ships it down in there.
And don't look now, but the guy coming behind them really fast is He's about 3 cars behind them. He is just passing 2-3 cars from them here. He's already drove all the way up to 14th. He is coming fast.
And we talked about this. There's only 4, maybe 5 laps apart running on those tires. That's how much tires are worth here in Darlington, right? He's just got a little bit newer tires than his cars in front of him, and he is smoking through the field right now.
Toyota on board, Sheldon Creed. Racing Kuster for 10th, Jeff Burton in the 27. It's nice back and forth, backside of the top 10. Oh, Cole says, no, you know, Custer led the first 20-plus laps of this race from the pole, had the issue on pit road, and has finally gotten himself back inside the top 10 of that double zero. It just feels like, Adam, if he could get back into that top 3, he could win this race. He's got to get through some of this traffic here, and it hasn't been his friend here. He's got a really solid car. He's just put himself in position around this race.
All up there before.
In front of Jim Burton, back behind him, the Toyota of Sheldon Creed. We look at our Toyota performers, best of the bunch. Eric Almirola in the 20, Creed here in 11th. Chandler Smith made that pit stop, got sticker tires. He's up to 16th, and Taylor Gray slid back on the restart 20th right now, doing double duty. Top 10 last night to Taylor Gray. Parker's going to try to get 2 for 1 here with those fresher tires.
I think he might.
Oh, yeah.
Picked up a dozen positions since the restart as Clearman are close to a plus 11 now.
Well, just how sideways the 18 was going to turn 1. Really sideways. I got to see that again. That was incredible.
Hey to Sammy Smith. Haven't talked a whole lot about him today. Made the move in the offseason from Joe Gibbs Racing to Junior Motorsports. I'll tell you, this last year was such a great sequence for a number of drivers. A bad sequence for a few others. Maybe a little contact from Chet Burton.
I'd say there's contact when he lifted into the corner, but boy, that thing was sideways. Does a great job not hitting the wall. That could have been a day ender right there. Sheldon Creed, great save.
Back behind this group, Ian Byron got the free pass back on the lead lap. He's worked his way to 18th. There you see the 17.
Wow.
Racing Carson Kwok.
William Byron's just been waiting for his moment to actually pass cars for position. He's finally there at this point in the race where he can start moving his way back up through the field. Remember, he had that flat right front tire early in the race. He was 2 laps down, back to 1. Now back on the lead lap and able to start making some ground up.
Absolutely. Long day. That yellow was huge for him. Not only did it put him on the lead lap, it put the field on split strategies, which is he's going to, try to establish your track position. While he has this opportunity, he's doing a great job of doing just that. He's broken into the top 15 now. Ford winless this year. This is our 4th performance of the year. 2 Fords going at it. Ryan Sieg passed by the 98 of Riley Hurst. 29 laps to go. Here at the track, too tough to tame. It's been the Justin Allgaier show today. He's led 90 laps. Austin Hill is second. Almirola, Mayer, Jones, your top 5. We're going side by side on FS1. Glad you're with us.
28 laps to go at the Darlington Raceway. Justin Allgaier leads by 9/10 of a second over Austin Hill, who is still in second place. Eric Almirola is in third. Sam Mayer 4th. Brandon Jones rounds out the top 5 and 5th. Ryan Sieg is 6th, Riley Herbst 7th, 8th place for Jesse Love, Cole Custer 9th, and Parker Kligerman is 10th. Sheldon Creed in 11th, Chandler Smith 12th, Sammy Smith 13th, 14th is Jeff Burton. Make that now William Byron 14th, 15th is Jeff Burton, 16th is Carson Kvapil, Anthony Alfredo 17th, Kyle Weatherman 18th, Brendan Poole 19th, and Shane Van Gisbergen is in 20th. Parker Retzlaff is in 21st, Kyle Sieg 22nd, Taylor Gray 23rd, John Hunter Nemechek 24th, Josh Williams 25th, Matt DiBenedetto 26th, David Starr 27th, Blaine Perkins 28th, and the last car in the lead lap at 29th is Josh Balicki. Chad Fincham's the first car lap down at 30th, Patrick Emerly is 31st, Dawson Cram 32nd, Garrett Smithley 33rd, 34th is Leland Honeyman, AJ Allmendinger 35th, pulled off the racetrack a little bit ago. Had some sort of an issue there, no documentation on exactly what that was. Left rear tire failure for Haley Deegan puts her 36th, 18 laps down. I believe she is also not on the racetrack. Ryan Ellis will finish 37th with a DNF today, had a mechanical failure. And Jeremy Clements, after hitting the wall very earlier, bringing it onto pit road under green flag conditions back at stage, I think that was stage 2, lap 68. He has not returned to the race since then. So something broke on that race car, maybe in the suspension. but Clements will end up with a DNF as well. So a few DNFs. Only caution for incident was that left rear tire failure on the 15 of Deegan on the front stretch headed towards turn 1. That was a single car incident. The only other 3 cautions were the comp yellow at lap 20, the lap 45, and lap 90 stage brakes. Caution is out on the speedway as they come back to full coverage.
Continue to these guys in front. You come down, then you get to three down. Rest got to.
And we had a spin at moment too. Like the 28 car, Val Sieg. Is he below an engine? Oh no, we got a lot of things going.
Oh, there's some oil on the racetrack. Yeah, so you see one maybe blowing up, but the one behind it's spinning out. I don't know if that's a coincidence.
Maybe that's says spin. Blew up. So that's right. Throwing back to Harry Gann. I would say it might be my favorite paint scheme. 31 this weekend, and I'll see hanging on to it in the 28.
I'll tell you who did not want this yellow was Parker Flickerman. He was driving through the field all the way up to sixth place.
I would say when he elected to come down pit road, he was 13th, so they're better than they were.
Oh yes,
10, right? And he still has a set of tires. Now he just has to hope we don't get another caution.
Yes.
That would really hurt the 8 ball. But everybody's got at least one set here.
If the race was going to stay green there, he had a shot of winning here on pace. He was really passing cars fast.
Just outside the top 10, William Byron is up to 13th, so they're in a much better position than they were early in this race when they had the tires. She went 3 laps now. They've come during the game.
Don't count Byron out of it.
Stop. There's the victory that's been the fastest on the road. This is their time to shine. You can get your driver out front on the front row with less than 20 laps to go on a restart. Earn your paycheck, boys. It's time to go.
And Allgaier trying to finish the deal. We talked about the fact he hasn't won this year, but he's been in position so many times. Incredible cars, leading inside of 5 to go at Phoenix, and has the tire issues. This is Texas, right? When he's in the game again, he's been so good out front, leading, and then the contact there with Honeyman. Shot out of line at Talladega, and that hard hit from out of contention early in Alabama. And last 2 weeks ago, all the rain at Dover, when he had a great opportunity to go out, he'd have done the monster mile. They make a good stop, but then they had the late spin and they hit the wall. Allgaier leading them down here. Everybody else coming as well, Regan.
Adam St. Mayor's team in the 1 car making gains on his car. This particular run said he does not need too much from where he is. Wants to be freed up just a little bit, though, because of it being a shorter run. And Eric Almirola in the 20 car have been tight. He's all things, to be honest with you. But they've made that better. He doesn't want any adjustments. John.
Said of just all guys, he told him it's a matter of just continuing to do what he's been doing. He's been dominant. They just want a good stop here for the 21 of Austin Hill. Get that last adjustment really hurt the car, especially in 3 and 4s. They hope they can get him something back with an adjustment on him.
Good effort so far on the road. We'll see who wins the race. It's going to be close. Actually, not at all. It's going to be Allgaier who jumps right out in front of Mayer. His teammate gets 1. Austin Hill comes off behind him. Almirola drops 2. Custer comes off 5th, so he's right back in it. Allgaier having a great day here at Darlington. He's in control when we return.
Gonna be an interesting one down the stretch. Late caution coming out here at the Darlington Raceway. We'll have a restart with right around. And Austin Hill's going to be right there with him on this restart. Free pass went to the 35 car of Chad Fincham with this most recent caution, a spin by Kyle Sieg in the 28. Our second incidental caution today, and both were in stage 3, our 5th caution total in this one. Our truck race last night under the same race length was 2 hours and 22 seconds, I believe. It was like just seconds over 2 hours. This one barely over an hour and a half in and just 21 laps to go. Race last night also did go to overtime. Hopefully this one does not here today and we have a clean finish and maybe another classic at the Darlington Raceway for the Xfinity Series. We'll have to wait and see. It's been a good race though so far. Definitely a quick one. Like the new broadcaster. Yeah, it is the old one. Who said that in the chat? Somebody said that. Robert said that in the chat. Yeah, longtime viewer. It is the old setup. Back temporarily. Some longtime viewers of the channel would say, hey, it looks like I did it for throwback weekend. It's not just for throwback weekend. Waiting to get back into green flag conditions here in the late going to this race. We'll take our final ad break then while we're under this caution flag with 21 laps to go. You are listening live on KRC to the NASCAR Xfinity Series Crown Royal Purple Bag Project 200 at Darlington. Just realized I didn't end that poll at the end of stage 2 like I was supposed to for who you thought was going to win. So it looks like you guys had about an extra 35 plus laps to vote. I got down to 20 to go. 95 votes were casted, of 42% of you saying somebody other than Custer, Allmendinger, or Chandler Smith will win. 25% said pole sitter Cole Custer was going to win. 21% said Allmendinger before his retiring from the race after a mechanical issue here in the middle going to stage 3. And Chandler Smith with 11% of the votes. I think Allmendinger was running 6th at the time of his departure. Under the green flag conditions. Chandler Smith is currently 13th. Cole Custer is in 5th. An Allgaier who has won the first 2 stages of this race is to be potentially in prime position.
Because the finishes here are always outstanding. Yes, they are. And we are setting up for another one today. This one was epic. 20-point full race. Brandon Jones getting in. Get pretty bad on time. Noah Gregson said breaks it get much, right? Just keep on coming. Climb the fence. And then last year, 2023 spring, John Hunter Nemechek trying to make the pass to go in, and Kyle Larson holds him off. So who knows? We're gonna have to finish. Look at him.
It's it probably made him wear that.
Today, he's just a company man.
I got to tell you guys, it felt very newsy out there. That's a little bit more simplified today. Our Fox gear feeling good out here on pit road. What a great race this has been, and certainly that was a great race as well last year.
So we're glad to have you back, Rick. Looking good, buddy. Allgaier leading, takes the outside lane. We'll restart with 18 to go. Here's 7 radio.
It's different on this restart. Is Sam Mayer is on the inside this time. He's been racing against Austin Hill on every single restart up to this point. So he does not know his competitor quite the same. They also are teammates, so they most likely have the same most of everything, or at least he knows what he's got in the car there. So it's gonna be a little different game for him.
Coleman said teamwork makes the dream work. We'll see what teammates equal on the front row. Aerial coverage today provided by Goodyear, powering every mile and every moment on NASCAR's road to victory. Goodyear, more driven. Good to see the clip out here today. Let's get some great shots off of that thing. After the choose, Kuster moves up to row 2 alongside Austin Hill. Almirola, who was up to second prior to the caution, lost a couple of positions on pit road. He'll have some ground to make up when we return to the green flag. They added that lap, so we'll have 17 to go when we get the restart.
Yeah, and it's something interesting, Eric Almirola, which means he was willing to give up a row to take the preferred lane of the top.
Yeah, the bottom third place, Joey, the last few restarts has really struggled. And it's given up the spot all the way to the top. And not just the 4th place, but even to the 6th place. So he must be taking that into account here.
Yeah, that's always such a hard decision because what you hate doing late in the race is
Yes.
right, you're giving up a spot and you don't really know exactly how this race is going to play out, and you're banking on passing them on the restart, but you're still giving up that spot. Gosh, I hate doing that, but it's sometimes the position you're put in to do that, as we saw AJ Allmendinger still rolling around fighting Electrical issues, I guess.
Yeah, no, to that point, last year, Byron won this race, the Cup Series race, this same time last year, and he picked the bottom on a restart when everybody picked the top, moved up a couple rows, they all wrecked, he got through. You never know, maybe we'll see something similar like that here today.
Well, we're about to find out, I believe. Or I think they put the.
I
added another lap or something.
Hey, I'm looking at these two teammates on the front row, and if I'm Dan Jr., Kelly Earnhardt, I'm a little nervous right here. Because 1 and 2 at Darlington on a restart, side by side with my two cars.
It's not my favorite moment as a car race. Racetrack for Junior Motorsports. Justin Allgaier has won here twice, delivered 2021 in the spring, and then came back. Allgaier won in the spring. Noah Gregson won in the fall, 21-22. And if he wins today, it would be significant because look at the all-time wins list. Allgaier would join Tommy Houston and the Boss Man Dale Jr. at 24 career victories.
So do you think Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going one to win?
I would say yes.
Yeah, I think so. There's no tournament that's like
Junior can still add to his win total.
He's going to run
Yeah,
out.
that's wrong.
Pistol.
Yes.
So there you go. He can still add to it.
3 Junior Motorsports Chevrolets in the top 10 for the restart. Brandon Jones joining this duo on the front row. He'll restart. 16 laps to go.
After adding 2 extra laps of caution, pace car's finally in. 16 laps to go in the restart, and the JRM Chevys on the front row of Justin Allgaier and Sam Mayer. Allgaier on the outside, Mayer on the inside. Through the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air at Darlington. Who is going to take it? Austin Hill on the outside of row 2. Not a great launch for himself once again, though he will get to the outside of Sam Mayer in the 1. Mayer squeezes him a little bit. They keep it off one another, though, and stay door-to-door for second on the back straightaway, while Allgaier is clear by about 2 to 3 car lengths into turn 3. Mayer on the bottom groove of the racetrack. Hill on the outside. Mayer slides up. Hill does a great job keeping his momentum up. Cole Custer to 4th is going to push the 21 just a little bit off the exit of the corner. Mayer's doing a great job on the bottom lane for what it's worth. Everybody's pretty much single file in line just behind him. Allgaier's pulling away on the restart. Hill finally cleared for 2nd. Custer to the outside of Mayer for 3rd. And Almirola in 5th, lurking behind the 1 of Mayer, is more than likely just going to have to fold in line behind Cole Custer in the 00. Custer gets the run on turn 4. Mayer does pull up in line in between the 00 and the 20. So a 1/10 of a second lead between Justin Allgaier, and actually this was on the last restart, so it looks like about a second lead built up between Justin Allgaier and Austin Hill at the top 2 in the leaderboard. By the way, 3rd place right now for Cole Custer. This is the highest that he has been in the running order since leading in the very early going of this race. Number 8 car, Junior Motorsports, Sammy Smith pulling down onto pit road. Tough break. Not sure exactly what happened there, but he is in the pits. Riley Herbst, Parker Kligerman nose to tail, battling for 6th. Herbst with a little push at the end of the backstretch into 3. Kligerman diamonds the corner off. Bit of a gap building up between Almirola and Kligerman in 5th and 6th place. Top 5 in the running order right now with 12 laps to go. Justin Allgaier leads. Austin Hill 2nd. Cole Custer 3rd. Sam Mayer 4th. And Eric Almirola in 5th. Top 5 within 1.8 seconds of each other. Austin Hill about a 10th or 2 slower lap than the race leader, Allgaier. Allgaier quickest car on the racetrack. Only driver to run a sub-31 second lap time that last lap. Battle in the back half of the top 10. For 10th place, in fact, between Brandon Jones and William Byron. Byron has taken all day to get up to where he's at. Great job, though, coming from 3 laps down to where he is running, battling for 10th. Restarted 13th here, so he's gained a couple more spots since the restart, just slowly chipping away, and that's even with the damage on the right side of his car after his right front tire was flat earlier on in the race, all the way back in stage 1 in the opening dozen laps or so. Nice running rookie. Still Jesse Love in 8th. He's pretty much been 7th, 8th place this whole race. So a few stage points for Jesse Love in this one as well. Solid debut at Darlington with no practice or qualifying. Had the great starting spot up inside the top 10 because of the great season he's had so far. And a pretty good finish at Dover a couple weeks ago in the last race as well. 10 laps to go for the 17. They've been so close to winning so many races this year. Make that 9 to go now for Justin Allgaier. He's pulling away with it right now. And at this point, just hoping and praying it stays green to the end. But he's been so masterful on the race starts that even if we get another caution, it's going to be tough to take him down. Still don't want to have that extra opportunity for somebody to take it away from him once again. He's led over 100 laps today. 110 and counting for Allgaier, which is going to put him at over 350 laps left. The 266th career start for Allgaier in the NASCAR Xfinity Series as well. He's been a mainstay in this series for a long time, still searching for his first championship. But first and foremost, as far as today goes, trying to get that first win of 2024. He's got a 1.9 second lead. He was 0.2 quicker than Hill the last lap. And Austin Hill was the second fastest car in the second place position that last lap as well. Two-second advantage between P1 and P2. 6 to go at the line. Allgaier wants to see that white flag as soon as possible. Shouldn't have to deal with any lap traffic. If he does catch anybody, it's going to be the tail end of the lead lap, or maybe cars that are just off the lead lap in front of him. It looks like there might be a few of them he'll catch, but I would like to think that they're just going to get out of the way and not really cause real harm here at the finish. Everybody riding up near the wall at this point. Just trying to get all the speed they can. Byron's still trying to progress forward. Chandler Smith, in fact, is actually battling him for 11th. As Byron's lost a little bit of the 9 car of Brandon Jones just in front of him. Mentioned very earlier in the race, kind of middle of stage 2 to late going to stage 2, that with all the stage points Austin Hill has scored, and if he gets a good finish, he could take the points lead. He was only 17 points out of first on Chandler Smith. Smith gets just a couple stage points and is currently battling for the 11th finish. Austin Hill, 18 stage points to 0 for Custer, and is 1 position ahead of him in the running order right now, so Hill will move up ahead of Custer. And Austin Hill should come out of this race with the points lead if it stays green to the finish and things run the way they are now. I mean, Allgaier at this point is just putting consecutive fastest lap after consecutive fastest lap, at least compared to any other driver in the field at this point in time. On lap 2. Nobody has ran a quicker lap than that. As the only sub 30-second lap time in this race as well. But Allgaier still put together a magnificent performance. He's got a 3-second lead and 2 laps to go. Side-by-side battle for... sorry, no, that's not a side-by-side battle for a second. It was a lap car who was side-by-side with Hill getting into turn 1. Austin Hill gets around him, and Hill's got about an 0.8 of a second gap over Custer in third. Really no battles inside the top 5 here in the final lap and a half of this thing. Looks like Klickerman is maybe slowly catching the 20 of Almirola in a battle for 5th. White flag in the air, though, this time by 1 lap to go, sponsored by Credit One Bank. Justin Allgaier, about a mile away from victory as he circuits through turns 1 and 2 for the final time. A job well done for this 7 team. He'll finally get his first win of the season. It'll be the 5th different Xfinity regular to go to victory lane this year. It'll be the 2nd win for Junior Motorsports. The first and only one was Sam Mayer at Texas. This one a lot wider of a margin of victory than that one, which was 2 1,000ths of a second on that Saturday afternoon. This Saturday afternoon, Mother's Day edition, Allgaier's a winner at Darlington Raceway in the running of the Crown Royal Purple Bag Project 200. Congratulations to Justin Allgaier. Max points day, sweeping the stages, gets the race win. And now locks himself into the playoffs finally and picks up career win number 24 in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, tying him all-time with Andy Houston and his team owner, Dale Earnhardt Jr. 3.4 second margin of victory, 1 hour, 48 minute, and 57 second race. This race was about 12 minutes quicker than the truck race last night at the same race length. Oh, of course, this one 3 laps shorter because that one went to overtime and went 3 laps past the scheduled distance. This one finishes under its scheduled distance of 147 laps and 200 miles. 108.95 mile per hour average race speed today. And we ended up having 28 cars finish on the lead lap for DNFs. 119 laps led for Justin Allgaier in the race. He led 2 different times. And with the 4 different drivers to lead at least 1 lap in the race today, we only had 5 lead changes. 21 laps led, for Cole Custer from the pole. 6 laps led for Austin Hill, all on pit road but none under green. And AJ Allmendinger led 1 lap in the race as well. I believe that was on pit road during some pit stops. 5 cautions total, 2 for incident, both of them in the final stage, and then the 2 stage breaks in the Comp Yellow at lap 20. Cautions were for Haley Deegan and Kyle Sieg, single car incidences. This race, I believe, had 1 less caution than the truck race last night. I think the truck race last night had 6. This one had 5. And of course, 1 more for incident, which caused a longer cleanup yesterday because there was no Comp Yellow in the truck race. So we went through all the race stats. The only thing we have to go through is the finishing order of this race. Before that, though, you get to hear from your race winner, Justin Allgaier, and some of the other top finishers on our brief post-race show.
Make it step back, point the right direction. You got a lot of just with Justin's put 3 cars in the top 10. Mayor Brandon Jones entered that this afternoon. Let's hear it. Winner down to Regan.
Well, Justin Allgaier, it was nearly a perfect day. You lead 119 laps, your 3rd win at Darlington, Justin. You've been close this year. How nervous were you at the end of this race that something could go bad again?
I just wanted Eddie to call white flag, and man, God is so good. Car was rolling back. Hang on. I don't know the flat tire and see where it was at, but got to go so good, man. We've had such a heck of a year. We've led a ton of laps, and we haven't been able to do it. But the guys walking down pit road right there, true testament to them. Everybody back in the shop at Junior Motorsports. Rick Brand's here today, so we caused a party. I just can't say enough. This Darlington weekend, you fans, I mean, this weekend is always my favorite. And all of our partners at Junior Motorsports, Unilever Helmets, Chevrolet, Hendrick Engine Shop, we got the old farm truck and it ran pretty good. So I think having a little gray hair today helped me out though. Those long green flag runs and being able to kind of know, what's worked in the past here. Eddie did a fantastic job. Pit crew was amazing. I mean, just all in all, the day was good. We were as fast as Xfinity Internet today, that's for sure. But just proud of this team for sure.
You talked your boss for 10th on the all-times win list today, and you are now the career leader for top 10s overall in this series. You in the Xfinity Series, something special. What's that mean to you?
It means a lot. I didn't know if the day would come that I'd be able to match Dale Jr. Not only is he a great boss, but really good mentor and an unbelievable race car driver. I mean, you fans know it. Dale Jr. is he's an incredible human being, and so to come here to be able to tie him, to be able to take over the all-time 10th, man, there's nothing better than that. My wife and kids are here. Like I said, Rick Brand's here. Party calls, babe. Just what a heck of a weekend. Mother's Day weekend. I gotta say, happy Mother's Day to my mom. She's here. My wife as a mother, and all you moms out there, all you moms at home. Just cool weekend.
Justin Allgaier, winner at Darlington.
Second straight runner-up finish here at Darlington for Austin Hill. Austin, a strong day, obviously, but what more did you need to catch the 7? Well, our vintage Chevrolet was as fast as Xfinity Internet all day. Just the driver wasn't. I just couldn't get into turn 1 on restarts like I really needed to all day, and I think a lot of it's just me. I just got to figure out what to do differently getting into turn 1. I did really good with my launches. That's something that I've struggled with here, where I'll buzz the tires like late in the zone, and didn't do that all day. I felt pretty good about my restarts. Just when I'd get down into one, I would always get tight. Those few times I get on the splitter and stuff, but more so than anything, I gotta do a better job inside the race car. Thought we were just as good as the 7 all day. Congrats to those guys. But yeah, we were just that little bit off today, and I think most of it was me. I think our car was fast enough, but we'll go back to the drawing board, try to be better for the next one. We've had speed everywhere we go. We just got to keep finishing them off, and we'll end up in victory lane again.
Austin, what can you say about the job your pit crew did? Several times got you ahead of the 7 when it came to getting out of the pit road.
And it's probably what I'm more frustrated about than anything else is that my pit crew killed it all day, and then I would lose a spot on the racetrack for them. So sorry to those guys. I mean, they bust their asses off to get me off pit road first, and then I lose it getting into turn 1. So just frustrating day all day. But hopefully we'll go back to the drawing board. There's things I can learn going forward, and we'll get us one here eventually.
Austin Hill top 10 in every single start here at Darlington.
That's an impressive stat. Last time Allgaier won was last fall at Martinsville. That victory put him in the championship 4. He wins today in Darlington, so he's dominates here in Darlington, South Carolina.
We'll go through the finishing order of today's Darlington NASCAR Xfinity Series race. Again, your race winner, sweeping the stages, getting the max points today, is Justin Allgaier, leading the most laps along with that. Austin Hill finishes in second, 3.4 seconds off the race leader, or race winner, I should say, Justin Allgaier. Cole Custer from the pole finishes third after leading 21 laps today. Sam Mayer finishes fourth, ran top 5 all day, and Eric Almirola with another top 5 this season, finishing fifth. Parker Kligerman with a solid run in 6th place. Riley Herb 7th. Jesse Love with a good run in his Darlington Xfinity Series debut, finishing 8th. Sheldon Creed 9th, and Brandon Jones rounds out the top 10. William Byron comes from 3 laps down to finish in 11th place after damage from earlier flat tire. Chandler Smith finishes 12th. Ryan Sieg 13th. Anthony Alfredo 14th. Shane Van Gisbergen with a solid 15th place run in his debut with no practice or qualifying at Darlington as well. Jeb Burton finishes 16th, 17th place for Kyle Weatherman. Taylor Gray 18th, Carson Quapple 19th, and Brandon Poole finishes 20th. 21st place finish for Josh Williams, Josh Balicki 22nd, John Henry Nemechek 23rd, 24th David Starr, Matt DiBenedetto 25th, Chad Fincham 26th, Blaine Perkins 27th, and Dawson Cram final car to finish on the lead lap at 28th. Garrett Smithley a lap down in 29th. Leland Honeyman finishes 30th, Parker Retzlaff 31st, Kyle Sieg 32nd. 33rd place finish for Patrick Emmerly. 34th for Sammy Smith. AJ Allmendinger, 35th. DNF. Final 4 drivers in the running order. DNF today. Haley Deegan finishes 36th. 37th for Jeremy Clements and Ryan Ellis, 38th. That rounds out the 38 car field today. Again, 119 laps led today for Justin Allgaier. Ties his boss, Dale Jr., on the all-time Xfinity Series win list. I believe that does move him into a tie for 10th as well, with that being said. Ford is having a rough year, yeah. Probably should have won the truck race last night. Late caution, forcing overtime, but Jeske loses the lead on the restart. It's just that's been the case for Ford this season. I do think they're going to be strong tomorrow, though, specifically the RFK Fords based off practice and qualifying earlier today. They look very, very good. They've had a lot of speed in recent weeks. I could see them having at least a shot at it tomorrow. Would not be shocked if the RFK Fords, both Buescher and Keselowski, have strong days. Keselowski, of course, a multi-time Southern 500 winner. And Chris Buescher has had good runs there in the last couple seasons as well at Darlington. But as far as today's race goes, appreciate everybody tuning in throughout both streams so far. The NASCAR Xfinity Series race you have right now, the NASCAR Cup Series practice qualifying stream earlier this morning, and we do have a NASCAR 07 live stream coming your way. Busch Series race, full race. It will be at Watkins Glen to round out our triple header Saturday. Tomorrow's Cup race will begin at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, or only stream tomorrow. Will be a live commentary stream. So again, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow for the Goodyear 400 at Darlington. Hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. See you soon, and have a good rest of your Saturday if I don't see you again until tomorrow afternoon, everybody.